Hi everyone, it's Ray from Ray Life Coaching here at Middle River Yoga Studio again. I took a little break Thursday to Friday of last week in that I didn't come to the studio because one of my partners is sick with COVID, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't spreading it to anybody, but looks like I'm free and clear, which is great. So here we are in this beautiful, beautiful studio. Today is a little chilly, so I'm covered up. And my idea of chilly is under 70. People laugh at me because I could be in Puerto Rico and it could be 90 and it'd still be chilly for no good reason. It's weird. But that being said, last night, not really night, from like 4 to 6, I went out celebrating on my own the fact that I actually did some of the tasks on my list, and my celebration was to go out, and it felt really good to do that. I went somewhere that had some music that I recognized that was going to be danceable. It was an outside venue, so it didn't really allow for a lot of dancing, and the people who came, and probably just the location, didn't really lend itself to dancing, but I did anyway at the end. And I noticed someone I recognized, so I was alone, and so I was just trying to find a place to sit and eat and relax, and then later I noticed someone I recognized and I went up to them. And lately I've been really working toward community and finding kind of my people. You know, I have a good group of people, but a lot of them live far away, and I'm really looking for more people that live closer to me. Instead of trying to go to others, I not just want people to come to me, but also I want people that are closer by. And so yesterday was an experience of learning about what I want and what I don't want in friendship, in what do I consider my tribe, I guess. You know, who fits into that grouping. And sometimes you just won't know until you do the work. But you know, things appeared as I was talking to this person I recognized that I brought home with me, and really realized I got to get way more clear as to what I'm looking for. What does that look like? You know, what are these friends or people I can just call up, and people that I enjoy chatting with, doing things with? What do those people look like? And so what I was reminded of is the owner of this yoga studio, who is also my friend. And I called them up and just was like, hey, I just need more people like you. So, but what I also realized is I needed to create a list, just like I did with my task list, just like I did, 6 years ago when I came out as polyamorous. I created a list that helped clarify, and I didn't bring the list with me everywhere. It was really just a way to help me manifest what I was looking for in my life. And it worked. It works for me. So I'm sharing this with you because it may work for you too. If you're finding yourself either wanting a partner or friendships or work in your life, a certain type of work, get really clear. First off, the thing that will get you really clear is to delineate what you definitely don't want. Okay, so what I experienced last night was I don't want people in my life who commandeer the conversation and it ends up not being a conversation. It ends up being a dialogue about them. And when they do ask a question, or when I do speak, I end up getting like a sentence or two in, and then it goes straight back to them. Or they're not able to concentrate enough on what I'm saying, that they're like looking over here, looking over there, getting distracted. I want people, so that was a no, right? What I do want is people who can make space and silence and stillness in their life, not just for themselves, but also for the people that they're around. So that would be me. And so if they do that, they'll be able to hold space for me as much as I hold space for them. So it's not an uneven situation. It feels comfortable. It feels natural. And they're also asking questions, just as I do. They're interested enough, and they hold that interest long enough that it's not just right back to them. So, and if it is, they go, hey, do you mind? Are you good? Is there more that you wanted to say about that? Because it just dawned on me, there's something specific that I'd like to tell you. They're able to ask that question, to move the conversation in a different direction without it just going straight to them. So, like I said, having that clear list, that clear idea of what you want in writing is another step. Visualization, meditation is in one step. There's what I say is kind of like an embodiment, helping you to really fully embody what that looks like for yourself. So there are different steps along the way that help me create what I want in my life. And those are visualizing it. It's almost like you say, I really want chocolate. And then you kind of instantly, you envision that chocolate. You envision what it tastes like. You envision, having it in your hands and what you think it's going to be, how you're going to experience that. So that's visualization, really. You're saying, I want chocolate. And then maybe you don't get chocolate. And you're like, or every piece of chocolate you have just doesn't have that same experience. And then you're like, okay, I need to be really clear. Maybe the visualization isn't good enough. Like, I need to figure out, okay, what is it about those chocolates that just aren't doing it for me, And then put that on one side and put it on the other side and write, okay, what is it that I would like to experience? And then you can use that for your visualization. You can be like, okay, I need to be more specific, I need to be a little bit more specific. So what I suggest today is to give yourself a little time, pause this, and write down 3 things, just enough. 3 things that you really don't want, whether it be about your work or people in your life or that love relationship or maybe experience with your family or something. Something you can control though, meaning you can't stop someone being who they are. You can stop spending a certain amount of time with them. You can start saying what you want in front of them. You can, be that in your own life. Sorry, there's a train coming. We're gonna hear it. Let's just take moments for this train. So maybe while we hear the train, just think of those 3 things. It's a long train. So maybe during this pause of the train going by and the sound, you thought of 3 things that you don't want. We're also going to say 3 things that you do want. I'm going to give you an example. So for me, during that event yesterday, I came up with that space for conversation, that give and take that's neutral and equal and natural. And then the second thing was people in my life who can allow me to be me, whether they agree or believe or whatever. They can hold space for difference, really. And they can, maybe there's also a place where I want interest enough in who I am, that even if they're like, oh, I don't really know anything about that, tell me about that. Or, I've always felt a little off about that, but, now that you're talking about it, I really want to learn why it's important to you. Or maybe they're just interested. So the one thing that came up for me was astrology, and I'm really interested in that. And the person I was talking to really just shut me down, instantly. And I was like, oh, that's so disappointing. They'll never get to know me. I can't be me with them. And so I want to be me with them. The other thing was that they didn't come up to me. They had seen me, supposedly, before I saw them. And they never initiated contact. They actually don't do that, really. It's been me. So I was like, oh yeah, I want someone who feels confident enough in themselves and also can really be a friend, realizing that I'm interested in them in that way enough to go and meet them where they are. I need that too. I need that in between, that give and take. So when we really imagine what that would look like, how that would feel like, it's going to feel weird if you're not used to receiving it. Like you're asking for it, right? You're saying, I want someone who will come to me and it's easy. They give me what I give people or whatever, whatever it is. The other thing about this list is to say what you want from outside, you also have to be. So if that's not the case, if you look at the description of what you want and you're like, oh, I'm not that, then that's the work that you need to do. But we're going to visualize receiving this anyway and feeling good about it. Like, how does that feel? It might feel a little awkward at first. So let's do that. Let's take that moment right here to get centered. And close your eyes, find a space that feels really comforting, supportive. Let your body settle into the floor. Roll the shoulders back and extend the neck from the base of the neck up into the back of the head to the top of the head. Tuck the chin in slightly. And let that release the jaw, the ears, the eyes, the nasal cavity, and then the brow. Notice how when the brow and everything below it releases, so does the jaw even more. Bring the tongue back away from the teeth and the palate of the mouth and let it go into the throat. This will create space in between the teeth and the throat. Notice as you breathe in to the nose that the air can circulate in the palate of the mouth Just notice any sensations there. Any reverberation or vibration. Kind of massaging and relaxing that part of your face. Notice how that vibration goes down into the throat as you breathe, into your lungs as you breathe in, letting the diaphragm sink down and the belly blow it away from the spine. Now bring your attention even further down as you breathe in. Let the breath really massage the inner belly into the hips and the back body, just like your palate of your mouth, almost as if that is in itself a little cave that you're just filling up with breath. Notice the tightness in the base of the throat, where the sound comes from. And where you swallow. Try to, as you exhale, relax that base of the throat. Sometimes creating a noise of a but with your mouth closed, feeling the breath as you exhale out, vibrating in your throat, creating that noise to kind of hush it. Lengthening the exhale. Notice as you exhale that the skin of your body becomes very loose and sinks down toward the floor. This in turn allows the belly to sink back and down toward the spine and toward the tailbone and floor. If you exhale deeply enough and relaxed enough, you may even feel the skin at your pelvis, what they call the perineum, sink in. As your diaphragm sinks up toward your nose. It's almost like the skin of your diaphragm. As the diaphragm goes up, so doesn't the inner body pulling the belly inward. Notice the inner body movement. It's almost the opposite of the outer body movement. And as you inhale and as you exhale, notice the wave, the circle of breath. Inner body down as you inhale, the outer body up as you inhale. The inner body up as you exhale. The inner body down, the outer body down as you exhale. It's an infinity movement. Just let it wave in and out. We're going to take some silence to experience the wave. You may experience thoughts passing your way. Just as you exhale and inhale, notice and let them go. Just pass on by like passengers that don't stay. Like the train, this too will pass. And come back to the wave. And one more long breath. And now, with your eyes closed or slightly open, we're going to imagine ourselves. After I count to 5, all of a sudden, you're going to be in front of the 3 things that you don't want. So if it's a new house, whatever it is, a new job, a new external appearance, a new friend or friends, a new love or lovers, whatever it is that you're seeking, it just doesn't seem to be appearing right now. We're going to view it in the way that you don't want it first. And then it's slowly going to transform. So I'm going to count to 5. And the experience is going to appear in front of you as 5 is counted. 1, 2, you start to see a color in front of you. 2, you start to see the movement and maybe people or person in front of you. 3, you start to smell something related to the experience. 4, you start to hear some sounds that you would relate to this experience. 5, you see the people or the person or the experience in front of you. Maybe it's your own image, whatever it is. See it now in all its shapes and colors, sounds, smells, and touch. Allow yourself to touch something, to be there in the moment. Now you're going to pick one thing that you don't want from this experience. For me, it was someone just talking and not leaving space for me. Let yourself experience what it is that you don't want, the first thing. And just notice your body and how you feel in that presence. Place the feeling in your body. Give it a color. Okay, now we're going to transform that. What would it look like if that experience turned into the opposite, like what you really would like to see? Notice how you respond differently. Give it a name, a feeling name. Place that feeling in your body again. Notice where it is, how it shines, what color it is. Remember that feeling name. Remember that color. Remember what the experience and how it changes. How would you differentiate it? Okay, now we're going to do the second thing that you don't want. And just notice. Again, notice any feelings that arise when that thing happens. Notice where the feeling is in your body. It may be different, it may be the same. Just notice any changes. Now I want you to see the experience totally differently, as if that is what you absolutely wish for. How would that look like? How would it feel? Again, place it in your body and just notice the difference. Notice the difference from the thing that you didn't want And notice the difference from the first item of what you did want. Are they different in feeling? If they are, just take note. If they aren't, also take note. Okay, now we're going to go to the third item. What is it? The third thing that you really don't want to see. It doesn't feel good to you. I want you to place that feeling in your body again. Just notice how different it is. And when I say in your body, it could be a large span of space. It's okay if it's more than one place. It could be a broad overview. It's okay. Whatever comes to you is perfect. And color or shape or image, whatever comes to you, you want to symbolize it and bring a word to it. Now I want you to imagine what you absolutely want instead, a thing that would make you feel so much better. Place that feeling in your body. Place a color or a symbol to represent it. And as I count to 5, I want you to slowly come back to your body where you are right now, in the here and now. 1, 2, you feel how your body is on the floor and against its own skin. 2, 3, taking deep breaths and really feeling the wave again. 4, feeling the shoulders release, the jaw release again. And 5, just wiggle your fingers, rotate your neck, your shoulders, your toes. Take a deep breath. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Thanks for joining me. I'm curious how that worked for you. Have a great day.